Good morning. Thank you all for coming out to support our blue today. Thank you. Before we begin the ceremonies, I'd like to invite Congressman Peter King to come up and lead us off in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Congressman. I'm Chad Lopez, president of Red Apple Media and WABC. I'm honored WABC this is the second annual Back to Blue. I'm honored that we're able to do this. Thank you. As a resident of New York City, I know and I see what it takes for our police department and law enforcement to keep our city safe. So thank you to you guys for what you do for us. WABC will always support law enforcement. If you're on the job, we salute all of you. I would also like to salute John and Margot Casmatidis, owners and operators of WABC Radio, for making this all happen. Before I introduce John, who is the Vice Chairman of Police Athletic League and Chairman of the Federal Law Enforcement, I would like to recognize George Venizelos, who is John's Chief of Staff, former Assistant Director in charge of New York office for the FBI. Thank you. Thank you, George. John, would you do us the honor and come up to the podium and open the ceremonies for Back to Blue 2021? Thank you, John.
Thank you, Chad. And the purpose of today is to represent all Americans, to represent all New Yorkers, and we'd like to bring all media together because 98% of New Yorkers, 98% of Americans support the blue. And that is, we got to get the message out. So I call upon all media, every one of you, everybody to support our police officers. And we're leading off the and what we want everybody to do and what we're going to do, we're going to tie, not yellow ribbons, that's blue ribbons to support the NYPD. And we want people to tie them to their doorknobs, to their fences, to their oak trees, to wherever they can, wear them around on their lapels, wear them around their hands, or whatever. I want to congratulate the leadership of the New York Police Department. Right now, I'm calling upon Commissioner Shea, a 30-year veteran, graduated the police academy, and started in April 1991, 30 years dedicating his life to New Yorkers, dedicating his life in keeping people safe. Commissioner, please come up.
Thank you, John.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I really can't thank John and Margot and the entire team here, so many distinguished guests here, enough for coming out today. When you look behind me at the men and women, the finest, and that's exactly what they are. They are the finest human beings that New York City has to offer. And when you see that the work that they do day in and day out, I salute you. I know that New Yorkers salute you. I also know, John, it's your event. I'm treading on dangerous water correcting you here, but I don't think it's 98%. I think it's 99.5%. New Yorkers support their cops. I hear it literally every day across New York City, from one end of the city to the other. So for all the New Yorkers that send in letters, that send the tweets, that stop me walking around the streets, thank you. We do it for you. And just let's remember, it's been a tough 2 years, but we're going to get out of this together. And it's going to be the New York finest leading the way as always. God bless you all. And John, I can't thank WABC enough. Now I'm going to turn it to our Chief of Patrol, Juanita Holmes.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you to the whole team. Thank you for being here. And more importantly, thank you to the men and women who get it done every day. I couldn't be more prouder than to hold the position of Chief of Patrol. These are the men and women that keep you safe. They come to work, they get it done. It's been a tough 2 years, and somehow we always have to show up. When everybody else was home, who's there? So with that, I'm going to agree with the police commissioner, but we're going to win that other 0.5% that's not with us. Trust me. They will soon be a part of the 99.5% that support the greatest men and women in New York City that get it done every day. I thank you. I take my hat off to you. And God bless. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Can I ask the commissioner and John to come up and tie the ceremonial first ribbon?
And
And
my
Chief.
wife, Margot, who's always on my side. Margot, come to my left.
And Chief.
Chief Holmes, come on up. You know, we can't make it without women. Okay.
Thank you.
WABC is going to pay for distributing all blue ribbons all around the city. We're going to distribute them through supermarkets, Christini's, D'Agostino, all of them. Some supermarkets in New Jersey, some supermarkets in Long Island, and various other police departments, because over the next 30 days, we want to see a lot of blue. And what is it all about? Putting our foot down and saying, enough is enough. Let's support our police department. And I'd like all the media to go along with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Can we have Tony Spano of MTA, PBA, come up, say a few words? Tony? Okay. Can we have Manny Villar, President of New York State, PBA? Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the Police Benevolent Association of New York State, outside of our brothers and sisters here in New York City, we're the 5th biggest police union in the state of New York, representing the New York State Park Police, University Police, Environmental Conservation Police, and New State State Forest Rangers. We want to thank you, John, for your gracious invite and the support from the community throughout our state parks, state lands, state campuses, and historic sites, and everywhere else our people work, from Montauk to Buffalo. Thank you.
Thank you. We have to get a few words from Joe Esposito.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting to speak, but I do appreciate the opportunity. I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. C. I call you Mr. and Mrs. C because Casmatidis is kind of a long name, but Mr. and Mrs. C, thank you so much. You know, the station was always a good station before you got it, but what you've done to it since you took it over has just been amazing. You are the voice of the silent majority in this city, in this whole tri-state area. And you really allow the people of the city to get that message across. And the message across that they want to get across is they back law enforcement. They back law enforcement. They want this city to come back. They want this whole tri-state area to come back. And I think your station does a lot to push that message forward. So I want to thank you for all you do and for this great event here also. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Can we have Frank Conti come to the mic, President-elect of Port Authority of PBA?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lopez, Mr. and Mrs. Casmatidis. Thank you very much for asking us to be here. It's nice to be appreciated, but I could say on behalf of the 1,700 members of the Port Authority Police Department that we represent as PBA members, I'm definitely proud to have been asked to be here along with our sisters and brothers in the NYPD and the MTA PD. So for everything that you guys do at ABC to help us and get the word out, we truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we have John Nunez, President of Global Alliance, Hispanic Law Enforcement? Thank you.
A bit surprised. Actually, I was here during the Goya event. That was a lovely event. Pretty quick, this was just a surprise. Perhaps a different perspective of someone that just retired from the job as a law instructor in the police academy and executive trainer. It might be wise to just listen from our perspective as sergeants on patrol and the lower ranks. As the chief of patrol says, indeed, the last 2 years has been very rough. On first responders in general, and particularly, firemen, but law enforcement per se, cops. But why is that? As someone that just retired, and part of the reason is the context that, and by the way, I was going to say, what a beautiful day on what remains of New York City. You had the mask mandates with COVID-19, the bail reform that literally tied our hands behind our back, and I'm just expressing the collective feeling from some of my colleagues. I retire. A lot of people are retiring, and those are some of the reasons. I don't know whether there are any politicians here, but it seems that all the blame goes to law enforcement. But they're the ones instituting the laws at 11:30 at night, where the bail package report was passed. As far as and it was just mask mandates, and now we're talking about vaccine mandates. I'm not against the vaccine, but I think this becomes a constitutional question. Just as a law instructor, I did a little homework, and the only precedent is the 1905 case, the Jacobson versus Massachusetts case, in the smallpox. At that time, Jacobson lost the case, was fined $5, but this is 2021. This is a different context. Where is the articulation for an imminent threat in public safety where cities are opening up? We see it ourselves here, no mask. Cities are opening up. The COVID rate mortality is at its all-time lowest. So that's an articulation that I think, and I hope that we have to fight this. Not only that, but the mayor is imposing this mandate. The last time I checked, the Constitution of the United States does not even contemplate the term city. The city is not even mentioned in the Constitution. And in the Jacobson case, yes, more powers were afforded to the state. So if anything, at least it should be the governor of the state issuing the mandate. So I hope that law enforcement, I know most of the unions are on board, and I think we should indeed hopefully fight this all the way up to the Supreme Court. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I have Carlos Ortiz, National Latino Peace Officer? Come up. Present. No, he's not present. Thank you. Can we have Jorge Roches, President of the Americans in Law Enforcement? He's not present? Okay, thank you. Thank you to the President of New York Veteran Police Association, Lou Tilano, who's here with us today. Thank you. Also, thank you to the Nassau PBA, Suffolk PBA, and the Westchester PBA, and all of our men and women in blue. Thank you all. And thank you all for coming here today. We're going to have some refreshments, food up in WABC. We'd like you all to join us, and we're going to have some special interviews in Studio 77. So thank you all for your support in keeping the city safe. Thank you.